$1,132 up to $2,264 each and every month for SSI beneficiaries. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in this video, so let's get right into it. All right, I do completely recognize that there are a lot of you right here in the community who do receive SSI monthly benefits. As a result of that, I do want to give you some new information as far as what is currently circling around Congress right now in regards to some pieces of legislation that they do want to reform SSI, including some bipartisan pieces of legislation, again, to reform SSI and ultimately raise benefits to potentially $1,132, even up to $2,264 in some instances for some beneficiaries. Just imagine what that would do for your lifestyle and everything going on right now if all of a sudden you got a massive raise to your monthly benefits. I think we can all probably agree that would be life-changing for a lot of people right now, considering the rapidly rising prices on literally everything right now. It's getting harder and harder to buy the same old basics and the same old things that we've always been buying, but a massive raise to benefits and reforming of the program could be pretty life-changing for a lot of people. So I do want to get into it and talk about all the details on this and what Congress is currently working on right now and how this could result in a pretty substantial raise to monthly benefits for the roughly 8 million beneficiaries of SSI. So let's get into it. Talk through all these details. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as I am your one and only daily advocate, and I'm doing all the research each and every day, breaking it down into these short videos so that you can stay updated with everything going on right now as things are changing very, very rapidly. If you've been watching the videos for any length of time now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Every single day, we are getting new, weird updates on all kinds of different things that are being introduced, that are being passed through Congress, that are being brought up by Congress, lawmakers, all kinds of different people. It's very important to continue watching all this stuff very closely because, as I've said before, any of this that pops up right now is going to impact our monthly benefits in some way, shape, or form. Therefore, we probably want to know how our benefits are going to be impacted. As a result of that, that's why I'm doing all this research and why I'm here for you, bringing you these updates a few times each and every day so that you know what is actually going on. And anytime that something comes up revolving around money, benefits, programs, checks, stimulus, or anything else we can possibly take advantage of course, we want to get that as well. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get right into this. All right, so this is actually some pretty important stuff. There are a few different pieces of legislation floating around right now in Congress to raise benefits and ultimately reform the program. Now, here's the thing. I mentioned this in a previous video, but again, I just want to throw this out there because it's actually very interesting to understand. Did you know that the SSI program has been around since the early 70s? 50 years this program has been around. The last time it was actually reformed was over 30 years ago, back in the 1980s. So you can clearly see they have some work cut out for them, as this program is way behind the times, and we certainly need to work on this thing. It's just like a car. I mean, if we had a car from the 1980s, I'm pretty sure we'd probably need to work on it a little bit. We'd probably need to fix a few things on it because that's just what happens. Things that have been around for a very long time, you just got to work on them a little bit. That's the same thing with the SSI program. Things have changed a lot since the 80s. Therefore, we probably need to change the program and bring it up to current times right now with everything going on. All right, so there are a few pieces of legislation, and I want to talk you through the details on how this will actually change monthly benefits and actually result in a much higher benefit. All right, so one of the provisions in this piece of legislation is to remove the marriage penalty. Now, here's the thing. This is something that does have widespread support across many different people throughout Congress. Many different representatives, many people in the Senate all come together and agree, why is there a marriage penalty? Why was this put in there in the first place? I don't think anybody really has a good answer for that, other than the fact this is something that came out of the original iteration of SSI when it was put in place way back 50 years ago. And again, things have changed a lot in 50 years. So I think a lot of us are thinking and wondering, as well as people in Congress are still wondering, why is there a penalty if somebody wants to be married? Well, That's exactly what everybody's asking right now. So let me talk you through the details about this. So as this piece of legislation is currently stated, a few of the provisions in there are, number one, to raise benefits up to 100% of the federal poverty line. Well, as of right now, the federal poverty line is over $13,590 throughout the course of the entire year. As we divide this out on a monthly basis, this comes up to $1,132 each and every month. So that's the monthly amount that would be consistent with the federal poverty line as of right now. However, check this out. For those of you who are married and receiving SSI benefits, you probably already know this. Your benefits are probably reduced in a pretty substantial way as a married couple. In fact, as of right now, the maximum benefit that you can get as a married couple receiving SSI is $1,264 every single month. So you can see here, it's a huge reduction to benefits. However, check this out. Here are the provisions within this bill, as I mentioned. Number one, raise benefits up to 100% of the federal poverty line. Done. Next, remove the marriage penalty. Done. Now get this. If they do raise benefits up to 100% of the federal poverty line, $1,132 every single month per individual, well, if you're a married couple receiving SSI and they remove the marriage penalty, then guess what? The maximum benefit would no longer be $1,264, but rather it would be the individual number, $1,132 multiplied by 2, because each individual is getting SSI in that event, right? There you go. Now the new monthly benefit would be $2,264 every single month for a married couple receiving SSI monthly benefits, provided they actually do these couple provisions, which again has a ton of widespread support and bipartisan support throughout Congress to remove the marriage penalty and ultimately raise benefits to 100% of the federal poverty line. So you can see here, just between these two provisions alone, we could be raising benefits for a lot of people, single individuals as well as married couples, by a huge, huge margin, right? So for those people who are single, again, raising the maximum benefit from $841 per month up to $1,132 would be a huge raise, almost $300 every single month. And for those married couples, I mean, you're talking almost $1,000 more every single month. The current maximum, like I said, $1,264 a month for a married couple receiving SSI, and to raise that up to $2,264, I mean, seriously, yeah, like a huge, huge raise, right? So anyway, you can kind of see the differences here between these. Pretty substantial raises, and these two provisions alone would knock all this out. So you can see here, these are the provisions, by the way, that have been put in place since the 70s. 50 years ago was the last time that this was out there. So when it comes down to reform, I think we can all probably agree that yes, Congress certainly has their work cut out for them. And yes, this is actually pretty important to actually get something done here, because there's about 8 million beneficiaries that receive SSI benefits every single month who rely on these benefits every single month, and again, falling behind the curve every single month. One more thing I want to throw out there as well. Just because the maximum benefit would be brought up to that level doesn't necessarily mean that your benefit would be that. In fact, as of right now, even though the maximum benefit is $841 per month, according to the statistics and things that I've been reading on this, of course, I'm not the statistician behind this. I'm not the person who can see all this information from the back end. But according to what I've been reading about this, the average beneficiary receiving SSI is getting $665 per month. In fact, I even saw another report that said that the average beneficiary is getting less than $600, about $587 per month. So whatever it happens to be, we can all see that it's significantly less than the maximum of $841. So I just want to throw that out there as well, that if in the event that this does happen, of course, just because that's the maximum, there may be, reduced benefits as well for a variety of different reasons. So either way, if they raise that maximum, that just means that your benefit would also probably be raised, even if you're not receiving the maximum right here, right now, for, again, a variety of different reasons. Anyway, some encouraging things going on right now in Congress. And again, there are other pieces of legislation out there in the Senate right here, right now, where they do want to reform SSI. It's a very important program that sends out these monthly benefits to millions of beneficiaries every single month. We can only cross our fingers that Congress comes together and does the right thing by raising these benefits in a pretty substantial way. Anyway, as I do get more information, of course, I'll be right here for you, breaking it down. And we do know that Congress kind of has their back against the wall when it comes up to the timeline as far as when they want to get this done. They do know, or we do know, based on what they've said, they want to get this stuff done here within the next few months. So hopefully they can get that done. Anyway, I'll keep you posted as I do get more information. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out some of the other thousands of videos right here on the channel. There's a lot going on right now, a lot of great information out there that you probably want to know about, as things are changing literally every single day. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Subscribe, share, and go back and check out some of the other videos. Until next time, stay safe, enjoy your day, and I'll catch you again later in the